Welcome back to the studio. We are doing another redrawing of a childhood drawing that I did from when I was about 5 years old. If you haven't seen the last episode, I will link it in the description for you to check out. But basically, I found these drawings that I did when I was a child and I thought it would be a great idea to recreate them. Also, thank you guys so much for all the support that you all gave me on the last video. I'm so glad that you enjoyed watching me illustrate these. So this time I have chosen the mouse on the beanstalk. So here we have this beanstalk that I've drawn through the middle of the piece, and then I've drawn this little mouse character, and I've dressed her in a princess costume, of course, so I'll definitely have to incorporate all of these things. She seems to have some sort of glowing or magical powers around her. I'm not sure exactly what that is or whether to include it, but we'll see how that goes. And then over here we also have this bird character, I believe, so we'll try and incorporate him as well. We also do have this kind of figure in the corner. I'm assuming because we're talking about a take on the beanstalk, this is some form of giant or magician type character, so I'm not really sure whether to include him or not, but we'll definitely do these three pieces and see how we do with the composition. So I want to try and add in a bit of perspective into this, so kind of looking down the beanstalk, so we're going from the top to the bottom and then it's getting progressively further and further away until we kind of reach the ground. Right, so we've got this kind of beanstalk kind of coming out of the ground and then winding all the way up, and then I've kind of wound it to the top of the page here. So I think adding the vines helped with adding a bit more detail to the beanstalk. So now I'm going to put in our mouse in here. It's a bit hard because the perspective is quite exaggerated. What I want to do is do it so that she's kind of looking down. She has this cute little dress on because she's a little princess mouse trying to escape some sort of castle in the sky. Give her a little worried look on her face because she's incredibly high up. Right, I'm quite happy with where she is in position with the beanstalk. So she's kind of looking down at how high it is, how far down she has to go. But to emphasise it a little bit more, what I can do is I can add in the bird from the original piece to show that it is, you know, up high. Okay, I decided that that wasn't working, so I might try and do them like really far away. Maybe that will make it look better because it just wasn't looking good. Right, that's much better. So now we've got the birds in it, but they look a bit better because they're a little bit further away. And at the bottom we have some teeny tiny vines because they're so far away. I'm just adding in some thicker lines, which I normally do put in most of my pieces anyway, but especially with this drawing because we've got so many pieces in the foreground and the background, I kind of want her to pop out so that we can still see her easily, even when she's on the beanstalk with everything happening around her. Now, as we get to the bottom of the beanstalk, I want to try and lighten my pen pressure a little bit because I don't want the lines to be too thick down the bottom because otherwise they'll look a bit too thick for how far away it is. So this is the final line work. I'm pretty happy with how this is. I don't really know what to paint first. I was wondering, I normally paint the subject first, but I kind of want to see what the beanstalk looks like. I'm not sure, I need to think about it. I might do the beanstalk first and see what the greens look like. Maybe even the background, I'm really not sure. Woo. Right, I'm gonna paint the subject first. It's decided, I'm gonna paint the mouse first and then I'll paint the rest of it. Yeah. I'm just adding in some orange into her fur because, I don't know, I just want to give it a bit more of a warm tone. I've actually realised that the birds are the same colour, well almost the same colour as the mouse on the original picture, so that kind of works to my favour now because it means that I can use the same colours that I did for the mouse in the watercolour, and that way it'll kind of tie the whole piece in together because I don't want to add too many different colours that have a potential of conflicting. I'm just adding in some little surprise marks here, and just because I didn't think she looked shocked enough, so I thought I'd just put those in there. Gonna paint her lovely pinky red dress. In the drawing it looks more red, but I kind of want to make it a little bit more pink instead. I was just about to paint this pink when I looked at the drawing again and I realised that actually no, it's blue. So I'm glad I checked that because that would have been wrong. Okay, I think my little mouse and my bird's done. So I think I'm going to move straight on to the beanstalk. And I'm actually kind of excited about doing the beanstalk because I want to do lots of kind of different greens and then do some shadowing under the mouse to make it look like she's actually on the leaf itself. While I do that, I'm going to have a little think about what I really want to do for the background. But for now, I'm going to start painting this beanstalk. So I've gone back to my trusty swatch piece of paper and I've figured out something. So these are the greens that I'd really like to use. But what I might do is I'll mix them together as I go down to kind of make a nice gradient, but I think I also want to go from dark to light when I go down the beanstalk, so it helps out with the perspective a little bit. I'm just adding another darker layer over these vines so that once again they kind of pop out. At the moment I'm just adding in the shading and the shadows on the beanstalk to give everything a bit more depth. So while this beanstalk dries, I was just figuring out what to do for the background, and I was playing around with some ideas, and I might do like a gradient wash in the back. Nothing too fancy, but maybe incorporate the light green and also the pinky colour of her dress, and then together they seem to make quite a nice hue together, so I might give that a go. So here it is mostly painted, and I really like how everything's blended actually. So I'm going to put the wash on just for the background, and I don't have too much to avoid, so it shouldn't be that hard. The only thing I have to be careful of are the birds down here. But no, let's put this background in. So I had an idea that I like the wash, but I want to add something as well, just to the background, a little bit something extra. So I'm going to try and give it some kind of outline of some cartoony clouds. Yeah, that's dry. So I'm all done with the painting now. It was a little bit more challenging than the last painting that we did. However, I still really enjoyed making this one. So this is the old drawing that I did when I was 5 of the mouse on the beanstalk, and this is the new one. I think my favourite piece about both illustrations is the dress that I put the mouse in. I think if it wasn't for the character that I drew when I was 5, I don't think I would have got as much personality out into the new illustration. So I'm going to keep doing these. Not only are they great fun, but they've really helped me step out of my comfort zone and think up new composition ideas. So let me know in the comments if there's anything that you have recreated recently, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon. Bye bye!